Hi beautiful people, this is another session of the Behind the Music show. Now today I am excited because we have a lady in the house. She's our very first female instrumentalist, and yeah, I don't know how to put it, but I'm so proud to have her. I am very excited. She's quite busy, so the fact that she took off some time to come and talk to us. It is very, very, very exciting. My name is Eza and welcome to the show. But before we get into it, please don't forget to subscribe, to like, and share this very video. I know it will bless someone else. So yeah, we have, she goes by the name Price Love. She's an instrumentalist. What instruments does she play? She's going to tell us that. She's a songwriter, a very, very good one at that. And she is also a musician. She has a melodious, beautiful, wonderful voice. I got carried away listening to her music. It's amazing. It's very inspiring. It does not leave you the same. And I mean it. It does not leave you the same. So you're very, very happy to have her. And yeah, we're going to talk to her, get to know about her. And yes. Hi, Price Love.
Hi.
How are you?
I am awesome.
I am very happy. But I'm one of those people that don't know how to show the excitement, but yeah. How have you been?
I've been okay.
Thank you so much for sparing the time to come to the show.
I am glad I'm here.
The very first female instrumentalist. It's going in the books of Behind the Music.
Hello.
So tell us, who is Price Love?
Price Love is many things. Price Love. Okay, so some wonder, is that your name or it's just a stage name? So my name is Price Kwagala. Kwagala translated in English is love. Hence Price Love. I am a musician. I am a child of the Most High God. I am everything music. I love music. I breathe music. I studied music. Music is what I do.
When did your musical journey begin?
It began when I was 5 years old, from Sunday school. That's the first time I actually held a microphone.
Oh.
Yes.
You would hold microphones in your Sunday school?
Kale, they had just come. So it was such a, if you held a microphone, my friend, it was like heaven was coming down on that. They were not allowed to, but once in a month, the Sunday school would come and perform in the main church. So I remember the first time I held that microphone, I was 5 years old. And that's for me where it all began.
There was the singing?
Yes.
When do the instruments come in?
Oh, now the instruments. The story is interesting. In senior, I think I was in senior 5. I was a part of Eagle's Nest Secondary School, Scripture Union, and we had all these musicians, but they had graduated. So we had a keyboard, and no one was playing it. So we'd come and clap our hands and sing. So I wondered, what would it take for me to learn an instrument and play for the choir as they sing? So we had a lady at the school, within the school, that had a keyboard. Her name is Mrs. Angela Katinela. I asked her to teach me, so she started to teach me. So everything she would teach me, I would go and practice and play in the Scripture Union, and that was the very first instrument that I played.
Do you play any other instruments?
Yes, I do. I play the adungu. I play the local drums. I used to play the other drums, but I'm now rusted.
It's been a while since you've played them.
Yes, and the cello, which has also been a while since I graduated, I think. Yeah.
So yeah, you studied specifically music? How come?
The story. As a young child, I used to look at people playing instruments, and my desire was doing something like that. But as you grow, you are told music is a no-go zone. Actually, in our time, it was impossible for one to go and study music. Why? Because it was considered for the lazy bones. If you failed, then maybe you'd opt for music. But then I had a passion for it. And then we used to sing at home a lot, and would play we would get the jerry cans and make them drums. And we do that like throughout my childhood, really, that's what we were doing. So as I grew, the passion also kept on growing, and I realized there was nothing I would do for the rest of my life that would make me happy than music. So I chose to do music, and of course my parents were very unhappy about that, but I somehow thought if I go with it, they'll come along. I mean, and I'm not saying you should do that, guys, don't. For my sake, it was a passion, it was something that I knew I could not do without. For the rest of my life, I can do music. They came along later, of course, but it's something that I know is needed, it's necessary. I'm good at it, so why not, really? Yeah.
Why go study something else?
And then go and waste a couple of other years and then come back
and do what you would have done in the first place.
Yes.
What do you think, because most people, especially in Uganda, our experience is you pick an interest in an instrument, you pick it up, you learn, and and then you get so good at it, and then we have this person that plays this instrument very beautifully. It's few people that will say, I actually went to school for this. How different is it for you? What do you think is different between you, who was going to school, and someone else who just had interest, they had passion, they probably had a bit of musical talent, and they did.
So the Bible tells us to play skillfully. I know I have the gift, but it's not enough. I need to polish it to be excellent. So if someone is going to listen to what I'm going to play, it better be good, because I'm not representing just myself. I'm representing the kingdom of God. So if I'm going to do it, why not go and study and be good at it, and then come and share that skill with the world? Because we have a lot of that going. I mean, I learn something, then go out, and then I don't even have that desire to learn something new, to add value to myself. I wanted more value, but then I wanted it to be heavy when someone hears so-and-so is a musician, and then she studied music. Like, it holds much more, what do they call?
Water?
Than just playing an instrument, just like that. So I feel it's important for us musicians, especially the Christian musicians, to actually study what we are playing and get more knowledge. And then it also gives you another source of income as an individual. Because if you can only play, you're not able to teach. It doesn't come easily. But when you learn systematically, then oh, I can teach this, and then I can make a living out of it, and I stop depending on, for example, gigs. When it comes in, the money comes in. When you do not have one, then there's nothing. Yeah, so I chose to do that.
What specifically did you study?
So I did a diploma in music at first, where I majored in piano and cello. And then I did a bachelor's degree where I majored in jazz voice. So there I wasn't really playing any instruments, I was just singing. Yes.
So when does the adungu come in?
So the adungu, I met the instrument in my very first semester in diploma, and I fell in love with the sound. And I thought, well, no one is playing it. It sounds good. Why don't I just try it and see? So I did it. I used to make presentations in our recitals, and they were good. So I was like, well, I can keep doing this. And before I knew it, I would go with it and perform in different spaces. And the reception at first wasn't as good, but then people started to get used to it. But then I also realized that it's a Ugandan instrument. No one was giving it as much value. Our instruments are like sacred or I wanted to bring something unique, do Western music with a local instrument. And that's how I picked up the adungu and started to play it. But also, maybe one of the other reasons was because it was then very expensive for a starting musician to move with an accompanying instrumentalist. If it was a guitarist, you had to pay. So some of these gigs were not really for paying. Like you'd go and just play somewhere for the fun of it. And then you've taken someone along. Of course, they need transport, some need refreshments. And if you don't have that money to do that, then it becomes a bit tricky. So I decided, well, I can be a one-man band. I take my instrument, I can sing, and we can go on like that. And I think that was the journey at the beginning. Then later, my mom fell sick, and somehow I realized that music would help. So I used to get this instrument and play it in front of her, and she used to respond. And most of the time, I realized it was healing to the soul, so I just took it on until today.
I must say, there's something about African instruments and the sound that they make.
Yes.
It's beautiful, but it's something that I can't exactly describe. But you listen to it and you get carried away. Like it's amazing. So in our music industry, we rarely see women instrumentalists. Why do you think that is the case?
I really cannot. I can't. There are many reasons, but one of them really, when we began, or rather when this journey of music started, it was the men that were recognized. In fact, I remember in primary school, we were not allowed to play instruments. They were meant for the boys. The boys played the local drums, the xylophones. In fact, ours was to dance and sing.
That's true.
So I feel like then they developed kind of theory. Instruments are for the guys. Women can do the singing. If you notice, even in church, how many ladies play instruments?
I can count them on my finger and probably not go past the second finger.
Because generally that is that was what was created at the very beginning. But I guess as time went on, our eyes started to open, that it's not just in music, but even in other sectors, you started to see women coming up. And I think it was just a change of mentality. Before we felt like it belonged to someone else, but then we later realized, hey, we can also do this. So I think it's just a change of mentality.
What challenges have you faced as an instrumentalist?
Challenges.
Female one at that.
Female one. I don't think I'll call this a challenge, but different spaces when someone sees you with a local instrument. Local instruments, let's start there. Everyone assumes, what can that one do? So it's just like people look at you differently when you are female and you're playing an instrument. I don't think I have faced any challenge. Like even when I was told, you shouldn't play that instrument because it's for guys, or why should you? There are guys here who can play. I had to set my own goal and my own bar. I want it, I will learn it, I shall play it. So I can't say it was a challenge at all. Yeah.
And they will listen.
Yes.
What would you say you have benefited out of doing something that you actually love?
A lot. Number one, money. So you see, if you do something you love, it pays. If you do something you hate, you don't have the joy of doing it. Number one, even if you make money out of it, it makes you miserable. I do what I love and I earn from it. The most exciting thing, to have money in my pocket, doing something that I enjoy. Number two has been connection. When you do something you love, people connect with it from the soul. It comes from deep within. So connection is way easier than when you do something that you hate. You do it out of obligation rather than out of fun. Then I have really had fun doing what I do. I just know I love music. I love playing instruments. I love singing. I love writing songs. all these things I am enjoying to the fullest. Like there's nothing I would exchange for what I do.
Okay, so you sing,
Yeah.
you play a number of music instruments,
Yes.
and then you also write songs. Did also that begin, did you just decide, okay, maybe let me write my music, or does it come naturally?
That comes naturally. My mom used to write songs for her church choir. I think I picked up from there. And I started to write songs from like back then. I think I was in primary school. But I never got to record those songs. So I started to write for people, and they would go and record the songs, and they would make something good out of the songs, and then realized, why don't I monetize songwriting? And so I decided to do that. In fact, it's what paid for my tuition for the bachelor's degree, songwriting. Wow. Yes.
Are there any major songs that you've written? I don't want to say the others are not major, but for lack of a word to say. Or maybe that have gone on to become quite popular.
So I've written one of the songs that I do with Gagamagu. What's the title of the song? I can sing the chorus. On this road to Canaan's land, I'm letting go and letting you. I surrender to you. Yeah. I got to write with Gagamagu. I've written for Pastor Justin Nabosa.
Awesome.
I have written for the Worship House Choir. Some of the songs that they sing, I'm the one who wrote, but like from those days. And then I have, there are many people I've written for that I do not want to even say out because, yeah, let me just stop there. But I've written most of the music that I sing, it's my own writing.
So some of the songs come with non-disclosure agreements?
Not necessarily, but this is a disclaimer. I didn't say this. Most people do not get to say that you did write their music, even if they did not pay you for it, or even if they did, they don't want you to say it. So you're like, you know what, you don't want to say it, I respect that, and you let it. Yeah.
For the peace of mind, and
Yeah.
you know. Awesome. And then I also noticed you write, apart from writing the songs, you write literary.
Yes.
What's the inspiration for that?
I did literature at senior 6. I love books. I read a lot, and then I'm writing a book as well, so I have to read a lot. So and then we are required to also write blogs, so any piece of information that inspires or tickles me, I get to write about.
I noticed you write with WordPress, is that right?
Yes.
What's the username, the
Pricelab.
name? Pricelab.
Yeah.
You want to go and read those articles on WordPress, you just search for Pricelab.
Yeah.
Okay. Finally, as we come to the close, what's your final word to instrumentalists, especially the ladies?
Ladies, if you have a dream of playing an instrument, practice, practice, practice. I will not even kulumamu in this one. Guys can play because they practice. We, on the other hand, are very passive. We say we're going to do something and we do not do it. So if you have an instrument, you have a guitar, you have an adungu, you have a keyboard, please practice it and then shock these guys. I mean, we need more of you to represent us. And we get lost in a sea of men playing instruments. We get lost, so we need you to step up. You can, and it starts with one day at a time. You don't have to be so good in a short time. You can take it one day at a time. 30 minutes are enough to start with. And then let's come and rock this industry with women power. Oh. Please.
Girl power. Okay, that is the end of the interview with Pricelab. It's been an honor, a privilege to have you on the show. Thank you so much for having us. Yes, before I go, just a reminder, please subscribe, comment, like, share. You want to know anything about her? The comment section is a place for you to let us know. That has been us from Behind the Music. We love you. Till next time, take care.
Behind the Music. Behind the music.